All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Quick sound check here. Hope everybody had a great, relaxing, warm weekend. Back to the grind. All right. Good morning, Mirza. Good morning, Debbie, Lorna, Eric. All right. We are G to G. So quick peek here at the futures. Got the NQ down about 0.4. S&P futures down about 0.2. Bitcoin futures down 0.4. We got the RUT flat, the YM down 0.2, and gold. Gold is doing the thing. Cut a nice push here last night off of the hourly squeeze. Very classic hourly squeeze stuff. And then looking at the 2-day squeeze here for gold futures, I kind of like it for a push. We don't have the white arrow just yet. They got the white arrow back here, made for a decent little move. But yeah, that could be shaping up. Kicks off big time rally, pulls back, chops. Brand new 2-day squeeze, great trend, great structure. If they can go and get a little momentum kick, yeah, like that for a push. And then the 4-hour here is a beauty. So gold futures popping off, and then for the cash futures, we have a 2-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute squeeze here for the ES. But if we take them and go look at the big 3 signals, I don't think that the easiest read as far as a directional trade. My 15-minute time frame is neutral. My 30-minute is neutral. My 1-hour, my 2, my 4. I want to go buy a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute squeeze when I've got the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute hourly buy signals. Or short them at the opposite. So a little choppy, little neutral, and then NQ has a 2-hour, hourly, 30, 15-minute, 5-minute as well. And we go checking the pretty colors, and they're all pretty blue. And the Monday morning blues. 15-minute squeeze, no 15-minute buy or sell. 30-minute squeeze, no 30-minute buy or sell. But the beauty is we found them early. And with a little patience, they might turn to great trades at some point today. Y'all know what I'm looking for, the white arrow. But all right, a couple things there on the futures for you. Nothing breaking records, nothing really breaking rules. And then for the spreadsheet here, let's go check out these rankings, shall we? All right, so we have ourselves in a neutral bullish market kicking off June. And to me, neutral bullish means we lean bullish. I'm not thinking shorts yet, not thinking about call credit spreads, but the bulls could get a little bit stronger. Not quite a wake up, blindfold yourself, and buy a call market. Looking at the indexes, QQQ is top dog. They've got 71% of their best score, followed by the S&Ps, Dow Jones, RSP, and the negative IWM. The Russell and its negativity. And then looking down here at a few sectors, you got XLP. Kind of like the XLP for a long. And then utilities, industrials, financials. Interesting weekly squeeze shaping up for the financials. And then communications, the Big 10 basket, and a bunch of neutral guys down here. And then bad scores on energy, biotech, healthcare, and the transports. If we look at the Big 10 basket, gotta like Broadcom, gotta like the Netflix, the Microsoft, the Meta, the Nvidia. Tough to love the Apple. Apple's got a negative 50. And sure enough, if Apple's back down into 190, 185, 180, not going to be a great thing for the Qs. And then for a few of your strongest names over the weekend, they got Zscaler, Philip Morris, CCEP, and then Travelers, Altria, MasterCard, XLP, and a few more. The weakest names are TMO, Chevron, all of the energy healthcare, ExxonMobil, XLE, FANG, Intel, Target, and Dow. My favorites are Costco, XLP, DoorDash, Spotify, FAST, Walmart, Broadcom, Palantir, Microsoft, and the Netflix. And then here's all those guys on the squeeze watch list. And yeah, I think unless the bulls bulls totally drop the ball and the market goes to zero this week, we got a lot to work with. A plus signals on the XLP weekly chart, Spotify, FAST. A plus on a 3-day for DoorDash, FAST, Spotify. Got a few 2-day squeezes, couple of daily squeezes. Squeeze on squeeze action. So for a few that I really like, which were already long, one would be the Spotify. White arrow squeeze and a perfect score of 15. And you got that on the Spotify weekly, 3-day, daily time frame. And then we have the slingshot squeezes on the 4-hour and the 2-hour. Think of a slingshot squeeze like a B plus. It ain't perfect, but it might be perfect, sometime soon. But the short-term star of the show here, I think, will be that daily squeeze. And yeah, looking for a push here towards that $700 call ball. I would take 690. I'm not a pig. But yeah, pretty straightforward, classic daily squeeze trade. Buy it above the buy zone. Got the alignment, the structure, the trend. Look for a push towards your target, and then you got to cut bait below the 21 EMA. And again, I'm thinking more short term. Can I take it from 660 into 700? Bigger picture thinking, it's a pretty solid weekly squeeze with a target closer to 740, 750. All right, from Spotify, we can jump over to FAST, which we also bought last week. And this one's got the A plus signals on the weekly, the 3-day, the daily time frame, 2-day time frame rather, with a squeeze on the 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, 30, and the 15. So she is fixing the bust and move. The weekly chart would imply they bust and move into higher prices. White arrow, perfect score. Got that on the 3-day squeeze, got that on the 2-day squeeze. So no major complaints on that one for now. Looking for a move into 43-ish, and we are wrong back below the 21 EMA. Basic stuff. So we got some Spotify, we've got some FAST. From that, we can jump over to there we go. The Dasher. Let's go look at Dash. Now, the bigger picture mover here, DoorDash, I think would eventually be the weekly squeeze. And through the highs around 215, 220, they can maybe get a path going towards 235, 240. Room to run. Shorter term thinking, really, really solid 4-hour squeeze. Looking like they're going to open up pretty flat here. That can make for a nice short-term combo. 4-hour, 2-hour, and the hourly nested squeeze. So you got DoorDash looking pretty good. From that, we can jump to the XLP sector. And if they can get this going, that should benefit things like a Walmart, like a Costco. But I think it can maybe even just buy XLP. Cover all your bases. Weekly chart, squeeze, white arrow, kicks off the push. The beautiful push. And you pull back, you're chopping, you're chopping, you're chopping. Nobody likes the XLP. Brand new squeeze, brand new white arrow. If they can get through the highs here, maybe a path into 88 and change. Which again, that'll benefit names like a Walmart, Costco, etc. So I do like that weekly squeeze. I also like the 3-day. The more the merrier. I like the weekly. I like the 3-day. I like the 2-day squeeze. The white arrow special, and I gotta like the 4. Kind of gotta like them all. Now I gotta figure out, do I buy LP? Keep it simple, cover all my bases, or an XLP name. And that'd be a matter of, does anything in the XLP look better than XLP? What one that wouldn't would be a Target. I might think XLP is the best looking sector ever, which I don't, but if I did, I wouldn't go buy Target. Negative 13, broken structure, broken trend. Not too much hope here. Would I buy a Costco? With a good looking ETF behind it? Yeah, I would definitely think about a Costco trade. Big pop after earnings, daily squeeze, white arrow, the bells, the whistles, and then a 2-day squeeze. And don't get me wrong, if XLP rallies, 20% higher this month, you're probably going to get a decent pop in Target. The birds of a feather should flock together. From a relative strength point of view, here's Costco with a score of 97. Right, 97% of its best possible score, and then Target has a negative 95. So yeah, sure, take the XLP, rally it into a brand new all-time high. They all might do all right. I want to hitch my wagon to that one, not Target. Make sense? And then I think you could also consider some Walmart, the Wall and the Mart. White arrow on your brand new 2-day squeeze, fresh out of the squeeze oven, and then a white arrow here on daily squeeze. Good alignment, bunch of buy triggers, hourly shaping up, and a 4-hour shaping up. So I think the trade here with either the June expiration or the July expiration. And frankly, if the idea works, it shouldn't take until July. That'd be painfully slow. So maybe it's a June 20th, 100 call. A little bit out the money, big round number, big sexy target. And more importantly, with a $5 expected move, and then more importantly, with a bunch of squeezes behind it, I don't think trying to call for a push from 98 and change into 100 is really asking for all that much. Then factor in your daily squeeze closer to 103. So yeah, I don't think a stretch in a good market. They can take that 100 call, push it either at the money or in the money. What would probably seal the deal, if I had to nitpick, and I'll nitpick, the only thing missing here is 4-hour momentum in the Bulls' favor. All right, big range all throughout back here. Momentum breaks bearish back here. And they pop, they fail. They pop, they fail. They pop, they fail. But we are getting that slingshot arrow. First decent heads up. All right, momentum might still be below zero, but it's on the up and up, maybe going for the positive cross. I would think they get that positive cross. Should kick off the push. The push of the push. All right, so Costco, Walmart, and then a few more for yous. I am sure you're all familiar with Palantir. Pretty good move back on Friday. But yeah, nice solid daily squeeze here. Solid daily squeeze and a good overall pattern. All right, they push it, pull back to the 21 EMA. They hold it, another like higher, pull it back, they hold it, squeeze. They maybe want to keep that party going. So I'll keep an eye on Palantir, and then that might be it. Showed y'all DoorDash, did FAST, Spotify, XLP. Now Broadcom. The Broadcom. It wouldn't be my favorite idea for a big trade. If I'm thinking big trade, I tend to think daily squeeze at the buy zone. So a Spotify, an FAST, a Costco. Broadcom may be more of a continuation idea. But I do want to watch this 1 hour, 4 hour squeeze. It won't be a Broadcom thing. It'll be more of a QQQ thing, most likely. But with a good QQQ behind it, if they can get that momentum line back above zero, they might want to push it higher off the 4 hour. And then through 2 fees where things get really, really interesting. Not my favorite, but I'm going to watch it. And then JP Morgan. Like I mentioned, financials are maybe trying to shape up off the weekly. Right, weekly financials. All right, the flush, the pop, all the back and forth, and now the brand new weekly squeeze. Trend is bullish. Structure is bullish. I don't think you get the big breakout until momentum is bullish. Positive shift, brand new white arrow. Could be a good one down the road. Shorter term thinking for JP Morgan. You've got a 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute squeeze. And then maybe the 4. Momentum going through a little bit of a bear cycle. But what makes it so bullish for now, negative cross back here. Momentum goes south. They don't break structure. They don't really break support. They keep their trend. They hold their ground really, really well. Versus rolling over, dying, squeeze breaking short. In most cases, not always, but in most cases, if momentum goes through a bear cycle, but they hold structure, hold support, keep trend, everything else remains bullish, and then get that positive cross, get momentum back in the of the bulls, a bit of that slingshot effect. Pull back price, pull back momentum, then you snap them both back in the same direction. But I wouldn't call JP Morgan my favorite for now. Could be later today. But all right, y'all, that is the bulk of the initial June watch list. Some Dash, some FAST, Spotify, XLP, Costco, Microsoft, Netflix, Palantir, Walmart, AT&T, and a few more where that came from. And then one more chart I did want to show you. More of put it in your back pocket, keep it in mind kind of thing. Going through a few monthly charts over the weekend. And the monthly chart here for the XLK, mighty, mighty interesting. Beautiful push off the buy zone. From a squeeze, mind you. All right, they push, pull back, they trend, pull back, trend. Then you had the great bear market of February 2025. They flush it, they pop it, they hold it. All right, now we're left with a perfect monthly squeeze. We're only one bar in, mind you, but yeah, that do I think it breaks out today, this week, this month? Not really. It could. I'm not looking at it thinking that. I'm looking at it thinking bigger picture. Could be this month, could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. At some point in the future, that monthly squeeze will fire. It ain't gonna squeeze forever, hopefully. It'll fire eventually, and we can kind of ballpark it. When a squeeze fires, they tend to make for a good move into about 2.5 to 3 ATR. 2.5 average true range moves above the 21 EMA, and 2.5 average true range moves below the 21. As it currently sits, that'd be about 265, 270 to the upside, and about 150, 145 to the downside. Might not be this month, might not be for a while, but when it does eventually fire, could of course kick off a pretty big, pretty meaningful move. Right now, the indicator would call for a breakout. Only one candle in. I like them about, yeah, I like them maybe 3, 4 bars in. But if you put a gun to my head, yeah, I could only buy it. All of the trend criteria, all the structure, all momentum, perfect big three score of 15, squeeze, A plus setup. Not a guarantee, not a promise, nothing really written in stone. But until that white arrow disappears, I think a pretty good probability they eventually try to resolve that in the form of a big breakout higher. I'm not going to go and buy the 270 XLK calls today, but it is there. It is brewing, and we'll keep an eye on it there week by week. Not a combo you tend to get on a monthly chart too often. For what it's worth, if you look at the S&Ps here, your last monthly squeeze was your September of 22 into December of 23 chop. And they pop and they dip, they pop, they dip. They finally make the thing fire. It's a lot of wind at your back. And then XLK, you had the combo back here. That is what? It's a 50% move. Yeah, just about a 50% move off the buy zone. When they go, they can go. But we'll keep a short-term focus and keep that one in the background. It is a brewing. But all right, y'all, any questions for me? Any chart requests? Anything you want to take a peek at? Put it in the chat. Got a couple minutes, and then I got to go. Got to take these good folks here at the rooms through the open. The first open of June 2025. I think it'll be a really good month. I got a feeling in my gut. It'll be a good one. All right, y'all are making my job nice and easy. Good on the Q&A. All right, y'all. I will let you go here. Have a great week. Be disciplined. Follow your game plan. All those great things. And then I'm back with you on Wednesday morning. So we'll do an update on the market, update on the Spotify trade, the FAST trade, and then whatever else comes our way between now and then. But thank y'all again. Go get them. And folks in the main room, I will catch y'all in about 5-10 minutes. Adios.